My art practice is a way to express myself and connect with others through the messages that I'm sharing with the world. And of course, that everything that I've been through shaped who I am and how I choose to explore certain concepts and things within my work. And with time, this also changes a little bit as well. I grew up in São Paulo, Brazil. São Paulo is one of the biggest cities in the world, and I was definitely exposed to a lot of art growing up, whether it was literature, music, dancing, and the visual arts as well. And this shaped who I am, and it showed me that art was everywhere, really, because I believe that the cultural scene here is so vibrant and not necessarily just inside big institutions like museums and all of that, but art is everywhere around us if we stop to notice it. And being from Brazil, being a woman, being queer, and being a victim of gender violence when I was a teenager, all of those aspects, of course, influenced my work. And my art has been also a way for me to heal and cope. When I started embroidering, I was able to process a lot of trauma that I had been through, but not only my art has been an outlet to process and heal, it also showed me that I could create a new story for myself. Growing up, I also dealt with depression for many, many years. I was diagnosed when I was 14, which is a pretty young age, and art and creativity were there for me. And with time, especially with embroidery on photographs, I was able to take the protagonism back to myself and understand that even though I had been through a lot of stuff that I wouldn't want to go, my art practice is a powerful way for me to navigate this world with a little bit more grace and to connect with others. Communication is something so important, and I've always struggled a little bit with it, but when creating art, I feel that I'm able to express myself and also share messages with the world, messages of joy, messages of empowerment, and most of all, messages of hope. I grew up in São Paulo, Brazil. São Paulo is one of the biggest cities in the world, so the cultural scene here was and is very vibrant, and I was so lucky to be able to experience a lot of art growing up, especially because it was something important to my family. And since the very beginning, I would always find myself, whether I would be singing, I would be dancing, I would be doodling, I would be painting. There was always something going on. And art was even more important when I was a teenager, because when I was 14, I was diagnosed with a severe case of depression and anxiety. So one of the things that helped me the most was making art again, apart from other professional help. But art therapy was there for me, and it showed me a path that I wouldn't think about having before. And that was a wonderful thing. So I ended up pursuing a bachelor in fine arts from Unesp, São Paulo's State University. And as soon as I started creating a body of work and even exploring different techniques, I've always been really focused on women's rights. And even in my first year of university, I was sexually assaulted. So of course that influenced my work. And a couple of years later of that episode, I started embroidering. And with embroidery, I really found my voice. And because I was enjoying embroidering so much, I ended up starting to embroider photographs because of my grandparents. I would spend a lot of time with my grandparents, and especially my grandpa, who's a quiet guy. He would show me photo albums of trips that he made with my grandma, of moments where they were both young and haven't met yet. And those vintage photographs were simply fascinating and charming. And I was just obsessed with them. And seeing those photos, those family photos, led me to embroidering them after, and also finding other photographs to embroider. And as I started embroidering photos, of course, all of my experiences and messages that I wanted to remind myself and share with others starting to emerge with my work, in my work. So there's definitely a lot of my own story and my path as a human in this world showed within my work. I would say the biggest challenge of being an artist is not giving up, because sometimes, depending on the season that we're at, we feel like giving up, or we wonder what's the point of the work that we're doing. But we can never forget that the world needs our art, and more than that, we need the art that we're creating. Even if we feel like stopping it for a while or quitting, that's not really an option, because it's one of the most powerful ways of self-expression. So keep going, keep going, keep going. I would tell little Juliana to be graceful and understand that it may take a little longer than what she expects, but she will find her community and wonderful people to be surrounded with, and just to be graceful with herself, because she's still young. She has a lot of time to accomplish all those crazy dreams and goals that she has, but she will. So just enjoy the present moment and believe that with time she'll find her crew. I would say I have tried any unconventional medium or techniques, and even embroidery on photographs. I started embroidering photos back in 2016. So that was 8 years ago, a moment when it wasn't as popular as it is right now. So people definitely didn't understand what I was doing at first, or thought it was very unique and unconventional. But I loved that I gave it a try and fell in love with this happy accident and this technique that definitely changed my life. It really depends. Sometimes I really enjoy listening to music, especially Brazilian music, while I'm working. But other times I prefer just enjoying healing frequencies, like 432 hertz frequency. It's a good one to listen while I'm working. And even subliminals. Subliminals are basically like recordings with, it could be lo-fi or a different beat to it, but that have affirmations being said that your subconscious mind get it, but you don't actually hear that they are there. So I really enjoy listening to those lo-fi beats with some affirmations while I'm working too. I would say that a miracle has happened back in 2020, and I work mostly with found photographs, which means photos that are lost, thrown away, forgotten. And one of my photos found its original family, so I embroidered a portrait of two women, and eventually in 2020, a granddaughter of one of those women portrayed in the photographs saw the photo, recognized her grandma, and her reaction was the sweetest. And she reached out, we talked, we found out that it was actually her grandma, and she said it was a message for her grandma to her in the moment that she needed. So it was the most special thing that has ever happened to me. I really hope that people just get inspired and remember that they belong. And the most important aspect is to spread messages of hope, joy, and affection, because we all need that. Our days can be really hard. So my focus with my art practice is just uplifting others, uplifting my community, and bringing more joy to this beautiful world we live in. So for upcoming events and Instagram handles, right now I'm just focusing on creating a new body of work. However, in September until December, I'll be part of a textile group show at the Museum of Contemporary Art of Niterói in the state of Rio. So that's the most exciting event that I'll be having until the end of the year. And when it comes to my social handles, right now my handles are Juliana.Naufel, Naufel. So thank you so much for allowing me the space to be here and share my story too.